Well, good morning, everybody. Let's talk politics while this app still is around. A couple big things happened yesterday. Number one, our Democratic senators acted like a bunch of schoolyard bullies on the floor during Pete Hegsworth's confirmation hearing. And it was an actual national embarrassment. That's what it was. That's what it was. They're bringing up his marriage. They're bringing up all kinds of shit that had nothing to do with the fact of the job requirement he was going in for. So what they did is act like complete buffoons. Congress, let me tell you something. The minute all of y'all's glass houses are completely clean, then you can try coming for somebody else. But 90% of you in that room have done shit that probably you're blaming him for, okay? So let's pump the brakes on the outrage morale police, okay? Because let me be clear. Those who live in glass houses should not be throwing stones, okay? The way that our Democrat Congress and Senate have acted in the past, let's say 4 years, but definitely yesterday was an embarrassment. Y'all, it was an embarrassment. I watched that entire hearing. I think Pete handled himself very, very well, and I really think he's going to get that confirmation, and he is going to go into that position that Donald Trump wants him to be in. He's also going to make sure that every single service member who was fired because of the jabby jab is going to be rehired with an apology, back pay, and rank. So, amen to that. A large amount of SEAL and special forces were also in attendance to back up Pete in this position. So, it was amazing. But let me tell you, Jasmine, Senator Jasmine probably is the worst. The way she talks, the way she handles herself, like, girl, this isn't like the street talking. You are a representative of the American people. Maybe you should start acting and talking like it. Just saying. But they don't care because they only did this to have their 5-second audio clips of owning the Republicans, and they can run to their social media. And every single one of them that gave the ridiculous testimony and questions towards Pete immediately ran to X to post it. Oh, he cannot be confirmed. It was a show. It was a show. And it was a bad one at that. Okay, so let's start there. Number two, the Women's in Sports Safety Act was passed. Yay, Riley Gaines. Yay, Nancy Mace. And what this is protecting Title IX for women in sports, stating that women and only women shall be in sports from this point forward. So it passed 100% with the Republicans, and would you know it? Every Democrat voted no except for 2. So there goes the Democrats with women's rights. We care about women. Yeah, they all voted no on protecting women in sports. Keep that in mind, except for 2. Okay? So spare me your women's rights nonsense, because when all of you who claim to have that and care about that vote no on this specific legislation, you don't care about women's rights. Okay? Okay. But it did pass, so big thanks to Riley Gaines for this fight that she has taken all the way to our government to protect our female athletes in their fight for Title IX to stay in place and protect our women in sports. It will state that at no time a man can play in a women's sports, take any kind of trophies or screen or time or, awards or scholarships, and it protects our women in women's sports. And that is to be the fact that we are even talking about this many years after women have stood up for our rights is ridiculous. It just shows you that ideology and activism have taken over control of our elected leadership in Washington. The Democrat Party is in effing shambles. I'm sorry. You guys are so hell-bent on trying to trash Donald Trump that you aren't even paying attention to your base at this point. That's why you guys were just embarrassed in this last election. Sorry, but you were. Where's Kamala? Kamala! Anyone seen Kamala? Nope, she's been MIA since she got embarrassed on the national campaign trail. But so big things are going on. We are days away from President Trump's getting into the White House and trying to fix the absolute mess the Democrats have made of this country, okay? And he's got a hell of a job to do. But what I love most about any of this is all of our representation. All they seem to care about is running up there to their social media accounts and fighting back and forth with each other instead of doing their jobs to fight for the American people. You guys on that Pete's confirmation hearing yesterday, the only thing you cared about was trying to own the Republican side. So you can go onto your X platform and be, oh, we told him he's not ready to be this person. He shouldn't be confirmed. You guys are a complete joke. You're a joke. The way you speak, the way you talk, the questions you asked him. Like I said, 90% of you guys have skeletons in your own closet. So before you point the fingers at other people, maybe you should clean out your closet first. Okay? Yeah. That whole glass houses thing. Give me a break. And we all know this. We all know this. Pete Hegsworth is a decorated military soldier. Okay? He has served this country in many deployments. He will absolutely have a team of people around him that are going to work together to get this military away from the ideology and back into what they're doing, which is training soldiers to protect this very fabric of this nation, in case we need to go to war and all of that. It's time to bring common sense back into the White House and in our military. So I think he's going to do a great job. I think he's going to be confirmed, and it's going to be on. Get ready, because this week you're going to see a bunch of confirmation hearings coming, and you're going to see all these Democrat senators run to their microphones and ask the most ridiculous hypothetical questions you are ever going to see. And it's already happening with Pete. So we've got so many more coming. We got Tulsi Gabbard's coming. So that's what you're going to see this week. A bunch of Democrats making sure they get to own the other side and run to their social media and be like, look at me, I'm a proud member of the Democrat Party, you know. And listen, Republican senators do this crap too with confirmation hearings when it came to Joe Biden's picks, okay? So they're both kind of the same, except one side is way worse at it than the other, okay? There is a meme floating around. I shared it on my X platform with Pete's face in the middle and all of like the women's senators, and then like, and it's all this talking and bitching and moaning and complaining, and Pete's face is just standing. It was the best one I think I have seen yet. It was a proper analyzation of what went down at that hearing yesterday. And here's the third and last final part of this. Of course, when the Senate kicks off, you got some nut job liberals in there with their signs. You're an abomination, man. How come we never see anyone on the right acting like this? How come we never see anyone in these confirmation hearings from the right acting like this, kind of withholding your signs and your pink hats? Like, it's just, you guys don't always send your most brightest to these things. So that's just a little pro tip for you. The people you're sending to protest me, they wind up looking like fools and they get dragged out. So really, what are you doing it for? Other than for us to just make fun of you. Because, I mean, hey, if that's the case, continue on, please, because I love it. Anyway, so get ready, everybody, because this week is going to be a bunch of whining and crying from the Democrat senators through all of these confirmation hearings, and I'm here for it. Good talk.